today we're going to be doing a watermelon wreath. So we're going to have a lot of fun, and this is a live that I did on Facebook, but I tape it at the same time so that I can make sure that the reception is great. So I try to keep my talking to a minimum, but if you hear me say something, that's why. But anyways, it's going to be a lot of fun, so I'm going to scroll down, and in a minute we'll get started. So we're going to be making a watermelon wreath today. I thought that would be fun. So this is what we're going to do. So I got this, and this is fabric mesh. Hi! Okay, so it still can go outside. It's not a problem. It goes outside just fine. So I have green and pink, and we're going to put that on the bottom. And I have this hot pink. So I have already cut up the green, but I'm going to show you how to cut a couple of the pink. And we are doing ruffles. And then I cut some squares of this. So this is that mesh that comes from AC Moore that looks like it has little paint splatters on it. And I just cut like 4x4 squares. So see, I figured we could bend it up and make little black places all around the wreath to make it look like seeds. I thought that would be fun. So, someone had asked me about doing just a regular wreath without having to do a work wreath, so that I can show you how to get your ties on. So we're going to do that first. Alright, so what you do, and this is a 15-inch wire wreath from the Dollar Tree, so there's nothing special about it. We're going to start with 10 on the bottom and 8 on the top. So this is going to be my top right here, this little ring right here. So you see how it has 4 rings. I'm not going to use this one on the inside, I'm just going to ignore it. So what I do is I like to start near a crossbar. Okay, now I just put my pipe cleaner on it. I go on the bottom and the one above it. And then I tie it down towards the bottom, and I'm going to hold it with my hands, and I'm going to twist it. See, and what that does is it makes it pretty hard to move. And then you can go over, and that's where you're going to put your next one. Now I had been telling you about 4 inches, so look here. You see where this small one is? It's at 4 inches. So it does work out pretty well. You just go by the next one, which is 4 inches. So we take this, I'm going to go with the smallest one. So I'm going to go right here. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to go on the top and the bottom, and then I'm going to twist it and have the tie at the bottom, like this. Okay? Then we go over our little short piece, that's what we're using, and this is where we're going to put our next one. This is what you do all the way around. So if you will just hold it and twist it, it will make it super tight. So you can do either way. You can fold it over like this, or you can just measure out from here 4 inches. Either way, whichever way works better for you, that's what you should do. Alright, so you see it's on there. It's not difficult. You just start with them matching at the top, and what that does is it makes one shorter, and that shorter one is 4 inches. So it's a great little measuring system. And you don't have to do anything. Alright, So far we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there we go. Okay. Okay. So we're almost done. We just have one more to place after this, and then we can start on the top. Whoop. I am tying it on there about 3 times so that I can make sure it's on there pretty secure. Okay. Last one. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There we go. All right, so now we're going to do the same thing on the top, except we're only going to get 8. So it doesn't matter if you start where there's a tie or if you start by the side. It doesn't matter. You're going to do the same thing. So you're going to fold it over. You want to tie it right here. Because remember, we're going to pretty much ignore this one. We're going to use this as our second level. Now, if you have one that has 3 rings, then you would go on the top and the middle and make the top your point. Okay? Not difficult. And it works fine. So, you know, really the reason that most wreath makers use the work wreaths is it just saves time. It saves the time of doing this. That's it. And sometimes those really thick ties are great for tying certain things in. So, but you can do it this way. It works just fine. Okay. And I tell you, it works better if you hold your tie and you turn your wreath, because that makes it much tighter. Instead of trying to just tighten the tie, it just works better. Okay, we have 2 more. And then we can start putting it together. Alright, last one. And then we'll be ready. Okay. So now you see, you have the same thing you would have if you had a work wreath. So you would do the same thing. You'd want to go and open your ties up so that when you start putting things down, you would be good. Alright, now if you're still worried, you can put a little, a little bit of hot glue right on the little points, and that will also help hold them in place. But if you tie it really tight like I showed you, it's not really going to come off. Okay? Alright, now we can get started on the next part. Alright, so we're going to take this and we're going to cut it 2 of them at 30 inches, just so you can see what I did. Didn't do anything special, I just put it on my little mat and cut it at 30 inches. Okay, there's one. And here's two. Okay. There we go. Now, we got all our pieces cut out. Thank you, Carolyn. So now we can start having fun. So I cut these up, and this is what my plan is. We're going to put the green and pink on the bottom and the hot pink on the top. Because to me it kind of seems like it would be more like a watermelon. Not exactly, but pretty close. So I'm just going to take this and lay it flat. And I'm just going to go right up the center and make my ruffle there. And I tell you, this fabric mesh does fine outside, and it's pretty easy to ruffle. So if you're wondering how it is, to me it's fine. It's easier than some of the meshes, I think. Alright, and I'll tie it on one time and stretch it out just like I normally do. Okay? So see there? Looks the same. So we're going to do all these first. Right here. Alright. Put it on the next tie. And then tie it down. Then I'm going to do the same thing I always do. I'm going to pull the one up before it so that we can get that little fan effect. That really helps make the wreath fuller. I'm sorry, Bella. She likes to lay on the mesh for some reason. Okay. Because on the whole couch, where does she go? Right over to where I put the mesh. Okay, so we'll just keep ruffling it by going up the center. You see how nice and straight the edges are on this? So this makes a really nice ruffle. I'm just tying it on one time. Then I'm going to fluff it out with the one before it. There we go. Now I got this mesh at Carolina Pottery, but I'm pretty positive they have it at Craft Outlet. So you would see it, it would be called fabric mesh. I believe that Trendy Tree has this stuff too. I'm pretty sure they do. I know they do. I've bought stuff there with the fabric. So if you're having trouble finding it, check Trendy Tree. Okay. So we're just pulling them up to ruffle them out together. And I'm going to tell you, I know people worry about fraying, but if you're putting them together like this, any fraying is going to be down here where you're not going to see it. So if you can't readily see it with your eyes, don't worry about it. It's unlikely that somebody is going to complain to you about something fraying. So it's mostly us who like to make the wreaths that worry about that. Okay. So stretch it out, pull it up against the one before it. That little fanning effect. Okay. Oh no, is it blurry? Listen, if there's any trouble, the focus is off. Alright, hold on. Let me go see if I can get my child. Okay. I got my IT.
Why is
Maybe there's a setting on the side.
What the heck is Discord doing here?
I don't know. It's because Carson used to have this computer.
Let's see.
So I'm just going to keep ruffling and fluffing it up.
Nope. Wait. See video inside.
I don't think that's the... Okay, if it doesn't clear up the blurriness,
Yeah.
then I'll just use the recorded one when I go out on it later. It's not blurry. It's got to be a reception problem because it's not blurry for everybody. I see. Hi, Ross.
Hello. Oh, Bella.
I know, she's all sacked out. Okay, so if it's really blurry for you, don't worry, I have it taping at the same time, so I will be putting the taped version on YouTube and it will be crystal clear. So you'll be able to go out there and watch it if you're having any trouble.
Oh, there's so many people. Hello.
Thank you, sweetness.
You're welcome. I tried. I kind of fixed it a little bit, but what the heck? Okay.
Oh, please don't take my mesh.
Yep. I tried not to. Okay.
Thank you, buddy.
Bye.
Okay. So we'll just keep going. So we're almost done with the bottom. Isn't that color pretty? I love that color. Oh, I'm sorry, it's not any better. Okay. So I'm just going to keep going. Oh, okay. Yeah. Maybe I'm moving too fast. Let me try moving a little bit slower. Alright. So on the last one, you want to fluff up the one before it and the one after it. And you see, by doing that, it's pretty much already covered most of the base before you even get to the inside. Alright, so next we're going to do the pink. So I'm just going to do the same thing. I'll just go up the center. Maybe if I go a little bit slower, it'll get clearer. Okay. There we go. Got our little ruffle. And we're going to do the same thing. So I'm just going to put it down on top. And tie it off. Look at her sleeping on the strawberry. That is funny. Okay. So, just going to keep going. Whoop, I saw it do that. So you just keep making your ruffles, going right up the center. I'm just putting this down on top. Then you want to take it and fluff it up against the one before it. So you see how that covers the base and how they kind of all start ruffling together? It really does make a difference if you make sure to ruffle it up. Okay. So I'm just doing the same thing, ruffling it each time. I'm just going to tie it down and then pull it up against the one before it. Okay. So if you just pull it out a little bit, it'll do its own ruffling like it should. These are all cut at 30 inches. Okay. I love how full the 30-inch ruffles are. Okay. I'll open these up. It got caught on my shirt. Okay. So just ruffle against the prior one. You see how pretty this fabric looks ruffled? And it is fabric, but it also has some of the poly, the little plastic in it, so it's not like fabric. It still is pretty stiff like the others, so it ruffles well. Okay. Do you think that's starting to look a little bit like a watermelon? How many I have left? 2. Oh, there it is. I knew I had another one. Okay. All right, last one. Where did Alright, so the last one you ruffle against both sides so that you can get that fanning effect. Okay, you see how it doesn't matter that we didn't put it on that very top level? It already covers it all the way to the center. So you see that? This is the kind of effect I wanted to have. It's almost like it's the rind on the outside and the pink on the inside. I thought that would be cute. So, this is what I got to go on it. Isn't that cute? I got this at Craft Outlet. And I thought this would be a great one because everybody will be able to get it. So now I can show you the ribbons we're going to use. Alright, so I have pink and green. This one has pink and green and a little bit of the black and white border. Then we have green with black and white. Whoops, we have white and green with a little bit of the little like red stripe in it. And we have the 1.5 version of that. Then we have pink with the polka dots and a little bit of black on it. And then the watermelon ribbon. So I thought that would be cute. So there's a lot of different ways you could do this. So I'm actually going to do this, but we're going to do it on top of the ribbons. But I wanted to show you kind of what my idea was. I thought that would be fun. Alright, so I have a bunch of ribbons cut. And I cut them at 14 inches. So, of course, you know, if you've watched me before, I just like to use my little piece of cardboard that's cut. It's cut at 7 inches. So when I take my ribbon and I go up to the top and cut it off, then it's 14 inches. And I just like to fold it over and cut at an angle to get that nice little cut detail. So that's all I do with my ribbons. We'll do one more. So usually when I do it, I'm wrapping them around and around and around so I can do them all at one time. I notch the top so I can remember where it is. And then I can make a whole bunch at one time. But there are lots of different ways to do that, so to me it's just the easiest, least expensive way that I've found without having to buy like a spool holder. Okay, so we're going to put our ribbons in. So I just take 2 ribbons, find the center, fold it over. I'm going to start at the bottom. So I'll open my tie back up here. I'll put my ribbon down. Then this time, whoop, hold on, I got a little straggler. There we go. Okay, this time I'm going to tie it down 3 times. I'm going to pull both of my ribbons on the bottom out front and pull them out like this. So one of the reasons I'm doing that is because I still want you to be able to see some of this green and pink. I don't want to lose the effect that we've made doing the green and pink on the bottom and the pink on the top. Okay, so I'm just going to keep doing the same thing. And let me tell you, don't be afraid to mix and match ribbons with different patterns. It doesn't hurt anything. It looks fine. It actually gives it a little bit more interest. So, 1, 2, 3. Pull them out front. That. go. Now, of course, you can do this without the ribbons too, if you just wanted to have, to me it almost even looks like a flower with the bottom 2 colors and the top 1 color. Where's my, oh, there it is. Okay. I get this comment a lot, that your ribbons don't pull out and do the streamers like mine do. I'm going to tell you that the majority of the time when that happens, it's because your ribbons are not long enough. So if you're having trouble like that, just make sure that you are cutting your ribbons 2 to 4 inches above your mesh. So if you're cutting something that's a 10-inch mesh, then you want a 12 to 14-inch ribbon streamer. That way it will stand out from the mesh. Okay. Another thing I wanted to tell you is you do not really have to reopen your tie to put your ribbons in. It works fine either way. And if you've made your own wreath with your own ties, sometimes it's a better idea not to reopen it, because they're not quite as strong as the ties that come on the work wreath. So. Alright, we got the bottom done. So what do you think? Do you like it with the ribbons? I almost kind of like it without the ribbons. Alright, so we're going to put them on the top, doing the same thing. And this time we can spread them out. Like this. There we go. So what we're going to do when we get our ribbons on is we're going to make a bow, and then we're going to put 2 bows and the sign on. I thought that would be fun. So all we're doing with our ribbons is almost making like a cross. See how different it looks when you put the ribbons on it? I think we may have to try this and make a flower this way sometime. That would be fun. All right. I think we're down to our last one. Oh, let's use this one. Okay. So now we've gotten all the ribbon part on. Now what we're going to do is we're going to make a bow. So I'm going to set this right here. Alright, we're going to use the Pro Bow today. Because I know the last time I did a bow, we used the bow dabber. So today we're going to do the Pro Bow. So let's see. So when you're using the Pro Bow, what you want to do is cut 2 pieces of wire. I like to cut mine the same length. So I cut them about 30 inches. What do I do with my, there they are. Now I'm going to explain why you need 2. Alright. Whoops, you lost your pillow, Bella. Okay. So you need 2 wires. You just want to fold them over and find the center. You're going to use them at 2 different times. So I want to use this ribbon for sure. We're going to use the watermelon. So the Pro Bow comes with this spool holder, so I'm just going to load it on here. Now, the first bow I made had the watermelon with the green and white and this pink. So I think we're going to do the other one just a little bit different. So we're going to use I'm still going to use this little one. And then I'm going to use this one and this one. So what you do when you're using the Pro Bow is you want to figure out how long you want your tail to be. You're going to pinch it. This is your little tail. You're going to take one of your wires and go to the center, and you're going to wrap it around your ribbon. Just one good time, like that. Then you're going to go to this middle finger and tie one part on the top one part on the bottom. Then you want to just slide this under. Okay. So what you're doing is you're putting the wire on that's going to hold your entire bow. At the end, when you take this off and pull it, it's going to go around all the loops that we make. So this one you have to use. The second one I like to use, but it's optional. So what you're going to do is, I like to use the middle peg to have the little middle piece, but you just go around whichever one is your first one, come back, pinch it when you get back to this back of this peg. What you're going to do is you're going to take that second wire and you're going to go behind this wire and you're going to put that little loop in between your first wire and that finger. See, and then what you're doing is you're tying this bow, this little loop is getting tied right here so that you're keeping this loop together. And you keep one up, one down. Then you just twist your ribbon. I like to put my tail up here, get it out of the way. You're going to go around your next little finger. Now remember, this is the top of the bow, this is the back of the bow. So you pinch it, twist it, go around your next one, pinch it, twist it, next one, however many you want to do. So we're only going to do 2 loops in the center with this ribbon. So once I get back to the middle and I pinch and twist, I'm going to take that second wire, take one up, one down, and all that does is hold it in place. So now you can walk away, or you can work on getting your next ribbon ready. So that's what that does. It just helps you so that you're not having to try and hold your thumb there all the time. So we're going to do the next one. So we're going to do the same thing. Figure out where we want our tail, pinch it. We're going to put one up, one down, and that holds it. So we're going to go around our first finger, come back to the center, pinch it, twist it to get that pretty side up, go around the next finger, come back to the center, pinch it, twist it, next finger, back, pinch, twist, and then around that peg. So that's all I'm going to do if this one is 2. So I'll pinch and twist, then I'll go up and down. I just kind of pull it tight and then it holds it. I can trim that off. So you see how it holds your ribbon for you so that you're not having to hold it with your hands. Then we'll do the last one. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing, go up and down with that ribbon, up and down with that wire. To get it on there, pull our tail out of the way, go around the first finger, pinch and twist, pull this tail out of the way, next finger, back to the center, pinch and twist. So you can mostly ignore this one that goes up and down until you need it. So pinch, twist to get that pretty side up. Last one, back to the center, pinch, twist. Then I'm going to pull one up, one down, And this time I'm going to twist it one time. And then I can trim that off. Alright, so we're done with this. We can move this away. Alright. So, now, this is what I want to show you. So, right here is where we tied it on. So if you pull it off, if you look, it is way back at the very first ribbon. So is this one. So see how you're pulling your ribbon around all of your loops. And before I take it off, I like to take both my wire together and twist it one good time. See, to keep it on there nice and tight. Then I just stick my fingers under here, pop it up. Alright. Then we're going to pull out our fluff box. So I like to make sure it's on here real tight, so I'll pull it and just twist it like that. Hold the wire and twist it. Okay? And this has a little hook on it, so I just put the hook and then I run it around my nail. So if you have the Pro Bow and you don't have a fluff box, you can actually put a hook and a nail right on your Pro Bow and use that as a fluff box. I've seen several people do that. Looks like it works great. So the first thing I'm going to do is just make my little detail to make it look more finished. Alright. That's it. Okay, so now all you have to do is just pull your ribbons in opposite directions. Ross is having fun. I can hear him yelling. Okay, so once I have it pulled out, then I just fluff it up so you can see the little bit of the watermelon. So I just stick my fingers in it and fluff it up. There we go. Alright. So then we just take it back off. There we go. And just slip it out from there. Alright. Now, bring our wreath back. So I'm just going to take these wires and I'm going to separate them so that I have two separate pieces, and I'm going to figure out where I want to put it on my wreath. So about right here, and I'm going to go around the back right back here with my wire. Now I'm just going to tie it right onto the frame. Okay? Okay. There we go. So now I'm just going to kind of refluff it. Tails might be a little bit longer than I think they should be, but we'll work on that in a second. So I'm going to put one here. I'm going to put the other one down here. So I'm going to do the same thing. Take the two wires separately. Go right around my ruffle. down to the base, right here, and tie it together. Alright, then I'll refluff that. I want to make sure I can see that watermelon, those watermelon pieces. So boy, we got a lot of ribbon on here. Makes it very full. Alright, so I like to create proportion on when I'm doing things. So if I have 3 pieces, what I'll do is I'll create a triangle. So we have our 2 bows. So now we just need to put our little sign. And that will make our little triangle. So you could put it this side or this side. You could even kind of put it down a little bit. But I think we're going to put it like right here. So this is like foam. So I'm going to use the zip tie, these little zip tie cable adhesive mounts. Whoop. Because I'm not sure anything else would hold it. Woo! Okay. Wow, that was my ribbon. So I'm going to put 3 points on it. It's sticking in my finger. Okay. That's the great thing about these. You can just stick your little pipe cleaner right through it. Then we'll tie it down. And we're going to have a really full watermelon wreath. Okay. So once I get these on here, then I'll just come back and I can reach this right here. This is one of our ties from the wreath. So I'm actually going to tie these together. Just make them nice and tight. Tuck them up behind that sign. I've got one over here I could use. Okay. And then I've got one here. So I'm just twisting them together and then wrapping them around like that. And then what you can do is you can also come back and just add like a little tiny bit of glue back here just to keep it in place. But see, if we shake it, it's not coming off. So we know it's good. All right. I think we're done. Oh wait, I forgot. We didn't put our little things in. Okay, let's see if we need to put these in. So I was thinking about putting these in on the bottom. Let's see. So just take this and just tie it right around our little pipe cleaners that we have. There we go. See how that looks? So it might actually be hard to see. Let's see if we can put one up top and see it. There we go. can kind of see it. So you could do that if you want to or not. Alright. What do y'all think? Oh, I
It's
think that
good.
looks
It's good. It's good. It's good.
Hey, buddy. What do you think, Ross?
Looks good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Alright.
Well
So what do y'all
done,
think? We don't usually do much with bows, but I thought it would be fun to do something with a bow. See, you can see our little watermelon. Yeah.